everybody. Jeff and Steph's excellent alternative power adventure.
Yes.
So today we're kind of talking about something that a lot of people think about and do, and some people don't do. Don't think they'll ever need it, and so forth. So the feeling is, as an RVer, am I going to boondock? Am I not going to boondock? Is it going to be something that I do 50-50 or whatever percentage you want to do? So the best way to boondock, obviously, is have some backup power. Now, a lot of people use a generator, but solar is really the way to go. But I'm not really here to talk about boondocking per se. I'm here to talk about having alternative power in the event of, and we've experienced this, right, Steph? Power outages are somewhat frequent. In a lot of the parks we were in, there was a lot of power outages, so it became a thing where, no power. But luckily,
We also have inclement weather situations, or if you have a storm coming in.
for sure,
Or ice storms that knock out power.
Yeah.
Things like that, unforeseen circumstances.
yeah, and these are circumstances that, being unforeseen, you don't see them coming,
Good
right?
point.
So, but this is really not about boondocking. This is really about backup power, per se, if you need it. So let's say something really bad happened, and you hear these stories, and especially with people in sticks and bricks. A lot of people don't have generators or backup solar. So being an RVer, you have systems, and you're really self-contained if you do it right. So the first thing we always do when we get to a park is we fill up our water tank, because we want to make sure that if the power goes out, maybe we don't have the ability to get water as well. And so the first thing we do, and I recommend everybody, is to fill up their water tank when they get to a park. It's easy enough to drain it when you're done and you're going to travel, if you travel light or you want to leave some water in the tank or whatever. But it's definitely better to fill up your tank with water, so if something does happen, and we've been out of water for several hours before, and luckily we had water and we could still shower. And being an RV, you have typically a refrigerator that runs on propane or electricity, so you can switch over to propane and run your fridge, and you still have hot water because you can run that on propane, and you have a water pump, so you don't need any power. So we have a lot of redundancy with this whole solar thing because we're such green warriors, right, Steph?
Oh,
Not.
sure.
But the redundancy we have is we have a 300 watt panel on the roof, and it's not a lot, but it's also about battery bank and storage, because you can have 1200 watt system, but if you don't have battery storage, it's not nearly as important as having the battery storage. Obviously, we'd like to have 1200 watts and be able to run air conditioners and all that, but that's not where we are. So we're just more about being able to run lights and live normally if there's a power outage for one or several days. So the 300 watt panel is paired with 4 6-volt Titan batteries. So being lead acid batteries, we can only take them down to 50%, and I do really recommend lithiums. We probably should have done lithium in the beginning, but we didn't know the advantages of lithium over the lead acid, and we paid good money just for 4 6-volt Titan batteries. They weren't cheap, so we're gonna roll with what we got, to make a long story short.
For now,
yeah, we'll upgrade at some point. But getting back to the redundancy, we have that on the 300 watt panel and the 4 6-volt batteries, and that'll give us a lot of power. But we also are rolling with a Jackery, and the Jackery 500 is really nice to pull out. If a lot of people get these if they have CPAP. Is that what they call CPAP machines? So this will run your CPAP machine all night. I've tested it, and it'll run your TV, which can be very important in a power outage. We're not real good at cards, so this will run the TV for, and this is our 52-inch TV. I've tested it and it'll run the TV for a little over 20 hours. So, we don't watch TV for 20 hours, but what we're saying is you could run fans, or you could run, whatever you really need on that, just to give you that little extra boost of power. And again, it's redundancy. We didn't really need this, but we already had it, so we roll with it. So you could, let's say, watch TV or run your CPAP machine, take this outside at night, plug it back into your panel, charge it up, and you have that as backup. So we have the solar on the roof, and we have this, so we feel good about that.
And the solar panel is amazing for the Jackery.
Yeah,
I mean, it's great to have that to charge it
for sure
when you don't have an electrical source.
For sure. And we also have, ta-da, the Honda 2200 inverter. Now, this is a dual fuel. We can run this on propane, or we can run it on gas. And having both of those options is really good, because we don't carry gasoline around with us. If we needed it, we could go get some and run that on gasoline, but we did the changeover so we can run this off propane, and we have a lot of propane. And just a side note on propane, keep your propane tanks full, because again, you never know what's going to happen. There could be an extended power outage. A lot of bad things can happen in the world, and your RV is your little self-contained, shelter. And if you have the generator as an additional backup, now you have the ability to run a lot of electric inside if you want to. So,
and we're pretty OCD about getting our propane filled at parks, especially when they have it available right there.
Yeah,
it makes it easy. It's nice to know your tanks are always full.
And you never know what's going to happen in the world. And at least if you have these systems, you feel better about your chances of at least going longer than the average guy in a house that's going to be freaking out after 2 days because they don't have any power. At least we know we have water, we've got power. And side note, we've never used the generator in a year. Now, that's not to say that we're not glad we bought it, because it's easy to handle and move around, and it's there if we need it. But we boondocked once. We've had power go out a few times, and the solar has been more than adequate for what we need. So I just think if you're on the fence about solar and you're thinking, well, I'm not going to boondock. I'm just going to stay at campgrounds, and if I do boondock, I'll worry about it later. But if you take care of this stuff now, it always happens when you least expect it. The power goes out, I don't know who knows what's going to happen in the world. But having all these systems and the redundancy of this makes life easier in the event something does happen with a long-term power outage. So, think about that, and if you can fit it into your budget and want to upgrade your solar or get solar, it's really worth it.
And cost-wise, what do these run approximately if you want to do a Jackery or a Honda generator?
So the Jackeries, they have this thing called Jackery Day on Amazon, and it's kind of silly sounding, but if you Google Jackery Day, they typically sell these for a huge discounted price once or twice a year.
Which is how we actually bought ours.
Yeah, it was Jackery. I got this flash, it's Jackery Day, and I didn't know if that was some kind of a holiday I hadn't heard of, So I clicked on that link, and this came up, so I said, hey, this is a good idea, And they're called solar generators, but that's nothing but a lithium battery inside that case. And, you can plug, you can plug a regular 110 into it. You have some USB ports. You can charge it with your vehicle via the cigarette lighter. And this is the input for the solar panel right here. And I love this thing. And this is the 500. Now, they make a 1,000, they make a 1,500, depending on how much power you really want. You can upgrade as high as you want. The Hondas, these are a little bit expensive, and there's a lot of debate about, do you get the cheaper models, and you can't beat Honda's proven reliance for quality. I mean, these things are so quiet, and they run so smooth and clean, and you don't get surges in power. They're just a really good generator. So you can buy a typical generator for half the price of these. I'm going to say this was $1,200, I think. But they're annoying. and don't get one of those construction generators that are so loud, you know, it just shakes the whole world. Just wait in spring for one of these, and you know, you'll be all set. You know, fill up your water, have your all these backup systems, and you know, you're good to go for as long as you need to. And I guess you should maybe have a little extra food on board too, but that's something completely different. So anyway, I hope that helps. And again, if you're not sure if you're going to boondock or you think you might, better be prepared, because it's not just about boondocking, it's about power outages and world catastrophes and who knows. So that's my advice to you guys, and hope you're all having a good day, and hope this helps you. If you have any questions, let us know, and thanks for subscribing, and we'll talk to you soon. Jeff and Steph's excellent
Adventure.
backup power
Oh, backup power adventure. Yes, you know
talk
it.
to you guys later.
Let us know if you guys have any questions about these products. We'd love to help you out.
Yeah, see you later.
Bye.
Take care.